This is an introduction for real estate agents to the power of the auction selling method benefits to seller agents. The process. It starts off with a discussion with the agent and the auction agents, Scott or Jared, about the property. Together, they determine the fair market and current value for the property in these challenging times. The agent then has a discussion with the seller, introducing the auction method, also known as an accelerated marketing program, where auctions equal action. The power of the auction has a 5-minute video the agent can review and send out that clearly describes the benefits of auctioning your real estate. The seller's agent determines the amount of commission they charge the seller, usually anywhere from 6% to 3%. The agent does contribute 1% of their commission to the buyer agent, along with Alex Cooper's contribution. Seller does not pay the buyer agent. The buyer is charged a buyer's premium that is added to the final bid price to compensate the auctioneer. The buyer also pays almost all of the transfer taxes and documentary stamps. If the seller is interested in hearing more at this point, the agent plans a 3-way call with the seller and Scott and Jared to discuss moving forward towards auction. It is then determined if the seller is truly motivated to sell, or are they holding out for a certain price and not flexible. If the seller is in agreement with the price that the property should bring at auction, known as the seller's reserve, then Scott and Jared have the listing agreement sent out to the seller and their agent for review and signing. If the reserve is not achieved at the end of the auction, the seller has no obligation to sell the property or pay any fees to the auctioneer. Scott and Jared have an amazing track record after 22 years of meeting or exceeding sellers' expectations. The auction is planned for 21 days from the day the seller signs up, so everyone can plan around the auction. The Alex Cooper team then builds the website and prepares the MLS listing remarks for the agent to get ready to field the large volume of calls at the opening bid price, which is usually 50% of the non-published reserve. By having the low opening bid, the interest comes fast and furious. 2 open houses for 60 to 90 minutes are suggested for the property. Any new buyers that come along go to the agent. The agent is the listing agent on the MLS and is in charge of the listing with the total support of Scott and Jared. The auction is planned and the MLS remarks are sent to the agent. It is picked up by Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, AlexCooper.com, etc. at the opening bid price. It is not unusual for an auction property to have over 10,000 views and hundreds of likes. The auction opens for bidding 5 days prior to the end date. At that time, buyers register and can add the deposit. Anyone can watch the auction on Alex Cooper's website, but only buyers with deposits can bid. The bidding is exciting and fast at the end. As the clock goes down, the price goes up. The property website has all the terms and the purchase and sale agreement for all to view prior to the auction end date. It is non-negotiable and the terms are clearly stated. The property is sold as is. There are no inspection, appraisal, or financing contingencies. The buyers place a deposit with a credit card hold. The card is not charged. Or a wire transfer to the escrow company. The deposits usually range from $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the value of the real estate. The successful buyer has 1 business day to wire a deposit equal to 10% of the total purchase price. The credit card hold is removed. The deposit is credited to the seller at closing. The closing is to take place within 45 days of the auction. The purchase and sale agreement goes out shortly after the auction ends. It goes to the buyer, seller, and agent. Alex Cooper's transaction team is fully involved through the settlement. The buyer may choose to get a conventional loan, but it is not contingent on financing. The 10% deposit is at risk if they default. The online bidding platform reaches a wide international audience. Auctions involve motivated buyers and sellers. Auctions are the fun, fast, exciting, and cost-saving way to sell commercial and residential real estate. Scott Frank. Scott at alexcooper.com. 410-977-4712. Jared Block. Jblock at alexcooper.com. 443-804-1418. 908 York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. 410-828-4838.